Do you know offhand how much it costs to charge an electric car? Do you know that offhand? Do you know offhand how much it costs to charge an electric car? Why did I use the word offhand in my question? What does it mean? Offhand. Offhand. It has nothing to do with hand. Okay, forget about the word hand, really. It has to do with your mind. Do you know the information right now? That's what offhand means. Okay, so if you hear the word offhand, if someone asks you, do you know offhand, they're saying, do you know that right now? Or do you need to go and look up the information? Right? Okay, so I asked you if you knew offhand how much it costs to charge an electric car. You could say, Mark, I don't know offhand, but I can look it up and tell you. Okay, so if you don't know something offhand, that means you don't know it right now. You don't know it. Okay, now the reason we use this word in normal English conversations is because it's polite. It allows the other person to, it gives them the chance to not know it, not know the information, and it kind of helps them not feel stupid, right? So if I ask you, how much does it cost to charge an electric car? You might not know, right? And then if you don't know, you might feel a bit stupid for not knowing that information. But if I say offhand, if I say, do you know offhand how much it costs to charge an electric car? I'm giving you a little bit, it's more polite because I'm acknowledging that you probably don't know that information. Most people don't know that information, right? So if I say that, it helps you, it acknowledges that you might not know that, and that's okay. That's okay, right? Here's another example. Let's stay on the topic of cars. Okay, let's say you want to buy a new car. So you go to the car dealership and you're looking around at all the different cars, and the salesperson comes out and talks to you. Says, which cars are you in? Which one are you interested in? And you say, oh, I'm thinking about this one. Do you know offhand what the fuel economy is of the Corolla Cross? It's a kind of Toyota. That's a kind of a car that Toyota makes. Okay, so let's say you're in a Toyota dealership. Do you know offhand what the fuel economy is for the Corolla Cross? What's the salesperson going to say? They might know offhand. They might know that information offhand, and they might say it's 35 miles a gallon. It gets 35 miles per gallon. I'm just making that number up. I don't know what the actual fuel economy is of that vehicle. Okay, so they might know, but if they don't know, they might say, I don't know that offhand, but I can get that to you. I can get that to you. That means I can provide that information to you. Okay, I can get that to you. Okay, or here's another example. Let's say you want to buy a truck, okay, so you can tow something. Tow means to pull something behind the vehicle, right? You might want to tow a camper trailer or a boat or anything, so you could ask, do you know offhand what the towing capacity of this vehicle is? Do you know offhand what the towing capacity of this vehicle is? because different vehicles are rated for different amounts. They can pull different weights, right? Small cars can't pull anything, but most trucks have some sort of towing capacity, right? So if you're looking at, let's say, the Toyota Tacoma truck, it probably has a towing capacity of maybe 6,500 pounds. Okay. The Tundra, which is their bigger truck, has a towing capacity of probably, I don't know, maybe around 10,000 pounds. Okay. So the salesperson might tell you, I don't know the exact number offhand, but I believe it's somewhere around 10,000 pounds. Okay. They might answer that way. So they're saying they don't know the exact number offhand, but they're just guessing. Okay. They think they have a pretty good guess. Okay. So let's take a different example. Let's say you ask me, Mark, what is the exchange rate between the Canadian and American dollar? I would say, I don't know the exact rate offhand, but I believe it's somewhere around 75 cents to the Canadian dollar. Right? So, I'm kind of guessing. I know that I'm somewhere in the ballpark. If you're in the ballpark, that means you're close to the right, information. So I know for a fact that the Canadian dollar, to the US dollar, it's somewhere around there, give or take a few cents. I said 75 cents because it changes every day, right? It changes every minute. It's always going up and down and this and that. I know it's somewhere around 75 cents. Do I know the exact amount? No. So my answer, it could be off by a few cents. Okay, so that's why I said 75 cents, give or take. That means maybe a few cents this way and a few cents that way. Might be 73 cents, it might be 77 cents. I don't know. Okay, I'd have to look it up. So I could say, I don't know the exact rate offhand, but I believe it's around 75 cents. Okay, somewhere in that ballpark. In that ballpark. Ballpark means kind of in that area. Okay. So what other examples? Can you think of any examples with this? I'll ask you. Okay, let's say I'm traveling to a country that I've never been to before. Let's say Armenia. And I ask you, hey, do you know offhand what kind of plug they use in Armenia? What kind of plug? Every country has a different kind of plug for charging your phone or laptop or something. Some countries have like the three-prong plug. Those things are called prongs. Okay, so a 3-prong plug or a 2-prong or a, I don't know, different, some are like this, some are like round. There's just different kinds of, every country has different kinds of plugs, guys. So that's why people need an adapter. An adapter converts your plug into the plug of the outlets in that country. Right? The wall, when you look at the wall, the place you plug in your plug is called the outlet. Okay, so what kind of outlets do they have and what kind of plugs do people use in that country? So I need to get an adapter that converts or adapts my plug to the outlet of that country, right? It's very it's very helpful to have an adapter, because sometimes you don't know what because it sucks when you go to a country, and this has happened to me before, where I go to a country and my plug doesn't go into the wall. It's a different shape. So, you need an adapter, right? Has that ever happened to you? Smash that like button if it's ever happened to you guys. So, you could, if I ask you that question, okay, do you know offhand what kind of plug they use in Armenia? You could say, I don't know offhand. Sorry, I don't know offhand. Right? Now, the reason I use the word offhand is because I'm asking you about information that most people don't know. So I know that you probably don't know this information, but maybe you do. Maybe there's a chance that you do, right? That's why I'm asking offhand, right? It's kind of a polite way to ask. Now, if we think back about the car dealership, should those salespeople know all the information about their vehicles? Yeah, they probably should, but it would be hard, right? If you're a salesperson at Toyota, let's say, they have so many different vehicles. They've got a huge lineup. Lineup means many different kinds of vehicles. All the vehicles they offer. They've got like the Corolla Cross, the RAV4, the Highlander, the 4Runner, the Tacoma, Tundra, tons of vehicles. So for you to know all the fuel economy numbers, let's say, for every vehicle, for you to know the towing capacity of all their trucks and SUVs, for you to know all that information in your mind right now, which is on hand or offhand, right? Offhand, if you know that, well, that's impressive. Most people don't. They have to go and look it up, maybe in their computer system, right? So, most of us, we don't know all the information in the world offhand, right? So, that's why we use this word offhand, because we're acknowledging that you might not know, right? That's why it's polite. Okay, so think about some other examples, guys. How can we use this term offhand? There's another very similar way to say this. This is kind of the same idea, and it's a phrase. It's, would you happen to know? Would you happen to know? Would you happen to know what the towing capacity is of the Tundra? Would you happen to know what the exchange rate is? Would you happen to know what kind of plug they use in Armenia? Would you happen to know what the weather forecast is for tomorrow? I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Would you happen to know that? Right? So both of those are almost exactly the same. But I would say with the word offhand, I'm losing my voice here, guys. Have to forgive me. Maybe I should just end the lesson. I've already talked enough. It's your chance to talk, guys. But what I was just going to say is, with the word offhand, it's kind of, we use it for, very often for kind of like technical information, like maybe facts, or that kind of thing that people probably don't know, but they might know. Okay, like you could ask someone, do you happen to know the, or there I just used happen to know, I was meaning to use offhand. See, both are very similar. Okay, you could say, do you know offhand what the warranty is on this laptop? Let's say you're buying a laptop. Do you know offhand how long the warranty lasts on this product? And the salesperson might say, yeah, it's a year, 1 year warranty. Okay, so that means they know the information offhand. If they don't know that information, they might use the word offhand. They might say, I don't know that offhand, but I can check and get back to you. Okay, I don't know that offhand. So we usually use this word in the negative, like with the word don't. I don't know that offhand. If you're asking the question, then it's do. Do you know offhand what the warranty is? And they would say, I don't know that offhand. They can either stop the sentence there, I don't know that offhand, or they can say, I don't know that offhand, but I believe it's a year, or I don't know that offhand, but I can check and get back to you. Okay, if they do know the answer, they're just going to tell you. They're not going to use the word offhand. They won't say, yes, I do know that information offhand. They won't say that. Okay, if I ask you, do you know offhand what the exchange rate is between my currency and your currency? You could say, yeah, it's blah, 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 right? You're telling me the exact amount. You're not going to say, yes, I do know that offhand, actually. All right, so anyway, guys, I just wanted to teach you this word because it's a very common word and it's very polite. It's a nice way to talk, right? Because some English learners, they might use the word right now. They might say, I don't know that right now. That's not as polite as if you say, I don't know that offhand. Okay? So if you're working as a salesperson, let's say a car salesman or laptop salesman, whatever, and someone asks you a question about a specific information, you might not know. And then you can say, I don't know that offhand, or I don't know offhand, but I would be happy to get back to you about that. Or I might need to give me a day or two to find out the answer, and I'll get back to you by email. Something like that. Or I'll give you a call to find out. Because some information might be really kind of hard to find. You might want to know some really specific information about a vehicle or about an insurance, something in your insurance policy. Let's say you're talking to your insurance provider and you ask them some hard question about some kind of coverage, maybe water damage. I don't know anything about insurance, guys, but let's say you ask them a hard question about some specific question about water damage to their house. They might say, well, that's a good question. I think that situation would be covered under this policy, but you know what? I don't know exactly offhand whether it is or not. So let me find out. I'll go ask my boss, or I'll do some digging, and I'll get back to you. Digging means trying to find information. If someone says, let me do some digging, that means they're saying, let me find some information on this, and then they'll get back to you. Okay? So yeah, it's a very friendly word to use. You know, try to make some examples. Give me some examples. Post them down there in the comments. I mean, we could talk about this all day long, making up examples, you know. Do you happen to know this? Do you happen to know that? Do you know offhand? Right? So, like I said, both those phrases are almost identical. Would you happen to know? Do you know offhand? Like, let's say you want to know your friends. If I ask you, hey, would you happen to know Jerry's phone number? Would you happen to know Jerry's phone number? Do you know offhand what Jerry's phone number is? Do you know offhand what Jerry's phone number is? I lost my contacts. All my contacts on my phone got deleted. I don't know how to call him, right? So you're just asking that information. You know, there's probably a low chance that your friend will know that information, but maybe your friend has the number memorized. Who knows, right? So, you know, there's so many different ways we can use this. We can use this in like a business context. You know, if you're asking about insurance or exchange rates or anything, or just normal, like I said, you know, do you know offhand what kind of plug they use? Do you know offhand what the battery life is on this camera? Do you know offhand if this model of car has a heated steering wheel? I need a heated steering wheel for Canadian winters so that my hands don't get cold while I'm driving, right? So guys, so many examples. Let me know your thoughts and your examples down there in the comments. This word is a great way just to be polite. It's super common. So try to make some sentences with that in the comments, and I'll try to let you know if those sentences are right or if they're wrong. All right, guys. Well, I hope you're having a great day. As always, I love you so much, and stay safe, healthy, and happy. And I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.